Abraham, a man who left everything behind because he heard God's voice, a man who waited 25 years for a promised son, and then was told to kill him. What kind of God would ask for that? And why would Abraham willingly do so? Welcome to Mysteries of the Word, where we explore the Bible's hardest questions, using scripture and ancient texts, both biblical and beyond. Today we're asking, did God really ask Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, and why? Genesis 22 opens with a chilling line. God tested Abraham. God says, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and offer him as a burnt offering." Abraham doesn't argue. He gets up early, saddles his donkey, and sets off with Isaac. But wait, why wouldn't Abraham question this? In the Garden of Eden, Eve listened to a voice she shouldn't have trusted, the serpent. So why did Abraham trust this voice? That's because Abraham knew God's voice. He had heard it before, many times. This was the same voice that called him out of Ur, the same voice that promised him Isaac, the same voice that appeared in person to make a covenant. This wasn't a stranger. This was the God Abraham had walked with for decades. To Abraham, this wasn't about murder, it was about trust. Hebrews 11:19 gives us insight. Abraham reasoned that God could raise the dead. He believed that even if Isaac died, God would bring him back because God had promised that Isaac would be the one to carry on the covenant. This was a test, not just of obedience, but of belief in the character of God. As Abraham raised the knife, an angel shouted, "Do not lay a hand on the boy!" And just like that, the test was over. Abraham looked up, and there, caught in a thicket, was a ram. He offered the ram instead. The story wasn't about sacrifice, it was about foreshadowing. Just as Abraham was willing to offer his son, one day, God would actually offer his own son. But unlike Isaac, Jesus wasn't spared. This test was pointing forward to the cross, where God would say, "I will provide the lamb." Non-canonical texts give us more context. The Book of Jubilees says Isaac was 13 years old. Jewish tradition sometimes says he was even in his 20s or 30s. Child sacrifice was known in Abraham's world, but never accepted by the God of Israel. God later says in Jeremiah 7:31 that such things never entered my mind. So why test Abraham this way? Because it draws a line in the sand between the pagan gods and the true God. God doesn't demand the sacrifice, he provides it. So no, Abraham didn't misunderstand the voice. He didn't think it was a demon. He trusted the God who had always been faithful, even when the path made no sense. And God, he used that moment to point toward a greater story, where he would give his own son to rescue the world. Thanks for watching Mysteries of the Word. If this helped you see Abraham's story in a new way, tap like and subscribe, and tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were Abraham?